record? Perfect. Thanks so much. So, guys, I'm so excited tonight to have my best sideline buddy in the business on our call tonight for our guest speaker. So I'm just going to do a quick little intro, and I'm going to let Lynn's get right into it. So just so that you guys know, I met Lynsey when I was a sales coordinator. So was she. We were both invited out to Law, which is our leadership advancement weekend that the company pays for every 2 years. And it was out in Whistler. We met at a wooden totem pole in the Vancouver airport. I didn't know anybody. She didn't know anybody. It was the two of us awkwardly sitting there. And we just started this amazing friendship that we have kept going throughout our careers with Juice Plus. And we've been able to work our way through the marketing plan together and have just formed a really, really special bond. It's funny, we have very similar backgrounds with in regards to what we do, but we are completely different people. Lynsey is very organized and I am not. And I think that's what makes our friendship work so well, because we just mesh so well together. So she is going to do a little bit of training with us tonight and tell us a little bit about her story. And thank you so much for getting on the call tonight, Lyns.
Thanks, Jen. I'm super happy to be on here with you guys. I kind of was wondering like what I should train about. So it's not going to be, I guess, necessarily a training call. I'm just going to share kind of a whole bunch of maybe tips and like things that our team is doing that I kind of feel like are working for us right now. Because I think, as any of you know, that going through the business, things kind of change and have to evolve. So for those of you that don't know me, I'll just quickly tell you a little bit of my how I got in the business. As Jen said, you know, I'm a mom of two, wife of a firefighter. I'm a personal trainer, and I was a former professional athlete. So I'm kind of an all or none kind of a person. So when my daughter was, we found out with allergies and eczema and asthma and whatnot, you know, I took to the internet, looked for something, found Juice Plus, and I decided at that time that because our whole family was going to start Juice Plus, that I was going to start the business at the same time, pretty much at the time because I was looking for a discount on the product. And I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool because I knew nothing about network marketing at the time. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool if I could maybe just maybe stay home because I was on starting my second mat leave, and I thought it would be pretty cool to stay home with my kids. So not really knowing the vision at all or the opportunities that was with our company or network marketing alone. So fast forward a little bit, at the same time I had grown a business. I went through the system, like I went through to VF quite quickly. And it's funny, I was speaking to our leaders and I kind of pulled out some information that I thought maybe I'd share with you guys because it was definitely an aha moment for the team when I did this. So when I started the business 5 years ago, I went to Fast Track. You had to do a 10-1-10 back then, and got to VF and did it on my own. And then I had a really great customer base, like super great customer base. And my husband always said, you know, it's all customer, no reps. It took me 18 months to get my first rep, literally 18 months. And that first rep is actually potentially could be my first Q right now. So, you know, she's stuck with the business through all the highs and lows at the very beginning. Same thing at the same time that happened, my husband decided to go through a career change. So I had to put the business on hold. And I think that was the time when you know, both of us, two of us, we had 5 different jobs. 3 of them were our own businesses. We decided we had the opportunity to build a dream home, and we did that. So we had a lot going on. And I think when we saw that residual income, that was the aha moment for my husband and I, that this really could be an opportunity for us. Because as some of you, or most of you probably know, that when you build a house and do it on your own, you accumulate a little bit of debt. And then also because you have to put other things on hold and push a few bills here and there. And so we were in a really massive pickle. And so when we saw that residual income stay the same, that was when we realized that, you know what, this was our opportunity to have choices and for us to get out of debt ourselves and not rely on an employer that, you know, maybe we were going to get a raise, maybe we could work hard enough to get a bonus, or maybe we could spend the next 30 or 40 years, you know, and hopefully get out of debt by the time we retire. That wasn't good enough for us. And so that's when we knew that this business was going to be it for us to get us back on track in a quick period of time. So fast forward a little bit. So I did put on hold. I sat at SC for a year and a half just because life happened, and it does. And I think I was really lost for direction. And I actually have to credit a lot to Nicole here and this team, because I was a little bit lost, not knowing what to do. And this definitely was my support system to find my way at that time. A life-changing business thing happened, I'd say a year and a half ago, and that was back in March of 2016. I heard, so tip for you and for your team, continue on going to events, because you never know who you're going to hear and who's going to speak to you at the time that you're ready to hear it and the exact thing that you need to hear. So we had Beaver Tail here, really big boot camp. And Kerry Daigle was here. And, we always, everybody refers to him, it looks like he's in the mafia, with boxing and all that. And like, he just like commands, right? So after the event, I was talking to him, we were talking a little bit about my experience and stuff. And he just looked at me and he was like, okay, like you got it all together here, but he's like, you're not utilizing any of your strengths. And I was like, huh? And he was like, you have all of these strengths from being a professional athlete. He goes, professional athletes are like a different breed. He's like, he just said, he's like, you have, organization, you have drive, you're looking for, praise, all these things that you need, and you have these skills and you're not using any of them. And so I went away that weekend and I was just like, oh my goodness, massive light bulb. And it was true. I was not treating my business the way I treated myself or my sport as a professional athlete. And so when I made that switch to really use the skills and the strengths that I had, and I always say this, and it tapped into a little bit at law, and I said, like, I think all of us, it's really easy for us to figure out what our weaknesses are. We're really good at picking those out, but I think it's really hard to kind of give ourselves a little praise and figure out what our strengths are. And so, yes, we'll constantly always be working on our weaknesses, but really work to your strengths and figure out what those are. And then when you do that for yourself, do that for your whole team. And I'll speak to that here in a minute. And so that changed everything when I was just a brand new SSC when I did that. So I came home and I put everything into the team in knowing our strengths and utilizing the whole team within those strengths. So if we needed somebody for a tower garden, we knew who our people were. If we needed to do shred stuff, we knew who our people were on the team. And the team kind of just went together and understood the direction that we were going and, what our mission was from then. About 7 months later, I was Q, and 3 months later, I went to NMD, and I would definitely not be NMD without Jen, because I'll just quickly speak to this, and I think that you guys have been talking about this a lot, about the power of a buddy. Jay Martin says it, but until you actually do it and get one, you don't really get it. So she went, as you know, she went NMD, and then she was like, because we went, like she said, every promotion together. So she was basically boxing me and saying, so is this month, is this month, is this month? And finally in January, she was like, okay, this is the month. Every day she was boxing me to, basically get my butt in gear. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it myself. And so that's when I really believe that our team kind of came together and got it. So some things that we did when I kind of split this up a little bit. So for our NMD run, one thing I realized that we weren't working as a team. And so things that I did for the team, and I'm going to post pictures. I think maybe when Nikki posts this recording, I'll put the pictures underneath so it's easier to see. But I just made sure that everybody knew what they were working for. So first thing I did is I made everybody go back and really understand their why. And then back from my being an athlete, I made these posters. Okay, and like I said, I'll post pictures of them so you guys can see them. But basically, it was like, Sarah on your team, her husband and they did this when she did her run, and it was like so great. When people have it just like a vision board, crystal clear, that they can see what is their goal, what is their volume, what do they need for structure, and where are they at, and what does that look like in trios, and what does that look like for team? This is definitely, I have team members that since we did these poster boards and like have them up in our houses, since we did that, I have team members now, they're saying, like if they hit a promotion, hey, can I do no new poster board? Hey, can I do a new structure board? Because it just helps people visualize what they need for their next goal. Because if you don't have those goals, it's like you're just chasing something. And when you don't have those little goals, like if you want to get to NMD, if you don't have those little goals set out, you're not going to achieve it, because you need to have that little like, okay, I made this. Okay, I made this next step. And those are the things that kind of you give yourself the little high five. So another thing that I did when we were going for NMD, I wanted people to understand that it wasn't just for me. Like, it really was for the whole team. And so any of you that know me, my kids are quite involved in our business, and so is my husband. It's definitely, I wouldn't be an NMD without him, because he definitely held down the fort and managed the kids and everything else while I went for it. But I wanted them to know what it was for, and I wanted everybody to know that every single order that they were placing was contributing to something. And so I made a sort of like a growth chart, and I had this up in our kitchen. And this was great because my husband knew where we were at. My kids every morning would wake up and see if we had, colored the line higher and higher and how close we were. And we would do videos on our team page so that the team would know how close we were getting. So, at the time when we started this, I needed 120 trios and X amount of points. And so I started drawing and coloring so the team can see it. This is just a little tiny piece of paper with some colors on it and a chart. But it was like everybody wanted to know where we were at and how fast we were moving up and how close we were and how many orders we were doing. It just kind of gave people like a sense of community that they were working towards something together. So setting those goals, setting a clear picture of what they needed was definitely what happened. And at the same time, like, yes, it was great in January that we went to NMD, but you know what? At the same time, we had 11 promotions and all those promotions were all between Fast Track BS. We had one SC. And then we had 3 SSCs in that month as well, just because everybody had a clear picture on what we were going for. I'm very honest in saying that after we hit NMD, and I say we because it's always a team effort, there's a bit of a lull. And I feel like the lull happened after that, and I think people were wondering, like, okay, now what, or like how they were going to do it, or and I think a little bit happened, especially with us out here with the economy, and I think people are a little bit lost. So I really felt that shift of trying to figure out what our culture was and what we were going to do now and what we were working for. So I'd say after the past 6 months, we really did a shift with our team to know everybody's why. And so I just did training. So I've done a few trainings along the way here. Like, I went to that Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing in Las Vegas. That was best event I've ever been to for the entire business. And then I just did the Gold Coast in Australia training this weekend. And it was by far people understanding what their whys are. So we can say, oh, we want to do the business because of this, or oh, I want to do the business, oh, because I want to stay at home. It's like, that's not even deep enough until people know so deep. And it's, yes, the why, until they, what your why makes you cry. It's got to be so deep that, it scares you. And I know what that's like, to be scared to not be able to pay a phone bill, or, whatever that why is. Each team member has to know that. And so if you go to them, I'm sure you guys have done that, but if you go to the mission-driven model, they've added a new form in there that helps you work through with your team members how to find their why, and it's a great spreadsheet. And I'm almost done the training from the Australia training this weekend, and they have another great page on how to work through your team members' whys. And so once I get that done, I can post it on this page as well. And so it's just a great tool to work through with your team. And I think it's really important that it's not just your direct downline that you know their why. It is definitely like you have to go like so deep. Like, I know, 4, 5, 6, 7 down why they're doing this business and how much it means to them. And if people say like it's literally like almost like a life and death with this business because that's how bad they need it, I let that upline know that I am linking arms with you to make sure that that person does it, because maybe that upline missed out on some training, or maybe they didn't have the same training that our team is doing now, or maybe they just understand, or maybe that rep, let's say their strengths, their love languages speak to more of, let's say, me versus their direct upline. And that's okay. That's the power in the team of being able to link arms and having, a couple of people help out that new rep to make sure they're going to achieve those goals that they have, and their whys for doing this business. Because I don't want to let those people that literally need this business, that $500 to literally pay bills. I don't want those people to just slide, or I don't want them to miss and get lost in, through the VF level. Like, I want them to make it all the way through, our marketing plan fast, because I know how bad they need it. A couple of other things that we also did recently with the team is that we're fortunate that I'd say, 80% of our leadership is fairly local. but not everybody is. But for the people that are, I do leader events, and then I also do them virtually, so I Zoom in people who aren't. And so we do fun events. So our most recent one was we did a Hawaiian party, and oddly enough, it had nothing to do with the 50 Club going to Hawaii next year, but it was a Hawaiian party. And so I had Hawaiian theme, drinks and food, and we just really narrowed into what we wanted to do as a team and what we were going to do. And we kind of chunk it out to 30 and 90 days, like what we're going to do with the team, because anything more, I think people with life kind of it gets a little bit gray, and they kind of lose, touching their business every day. So that was a huge thing. And all the leaders absolutely loved it. Made them feel important, made them feel part of something. And then they came out of that. We did a video for our team, and they came out of it just rocking it this past month. Just, because again, we were working on that connection which started at the leadership level and then worked their way down. So from that meeting, we decided that we were going to try a 60-day momentum. And so the summer was a little bit hard, like I understand was for most teams this summer. And I just thought I didn't want September to get away from us and not have the best September that we could. So in August, we decided that we were going to do a 60-day momentum group. And it was a lot of work, but it was so much fun. And what our team got out of it was amazing. So I committed to the team that I was going to post something in this momentum group, and anybody could commit to it. And so out of our team, we had 35 people, which is really great to have 35 people that were going to commit 60 days to their business. And what all I had to do is every day I was going to do a post that would help you learn how to touch your business every day, dig a little bit deeper into why you're doing this business, help you, and we talk about our belief systems a lot, and especially through our website. So we talk about the beliefs in the product, the business, the marketing plan, the industry, and then yourself. So any of the daily posts, we're going to touch on one of those 5 belief systems. And so, I might have the first day I would have asked, what do you feel like your strengths and weaknesses are? Well, of course I'm going to dig into that. And so then I made everybody go and do a live video. Or let's say I'd ask what their goals were, and then one of them might be a new car. Well, then I'd make one of the challenges for the day to go and take a picture in your dream car and then post it. When you completed a challenge each day, you'd get X amount of points for completing that challenge. Sometimes the challenges might be 50 points. Sometimes most people don't like doing live, so I made those live videos 1,000 points. So over the 60 days, depending on what challenges you wanted to do, you didn't have to do any. You might miss a few in between, but for every challenge every day, there was a points associated to that challenge. Well, we have people that are up to 10,000 points right now, and we're coming in. We have 4 days left of this 60-day challenge, and we have people that we put prizes for this challenge. So might have been a discount off conference hotel, or we might have given a conference ticket, or a day with the leaders for local people. You get to go out for lunch, and then you get to pick the leaders' brains for an hour over lunch. So we have about 6 prizes that people can win. And it wasn't just if you did all 60 days. We might, reward somebody if they did all 60 days, or somebody that maybe did the best live videos, or somebody that was the most creative in their posts, or somebody that had the most growth in their team. So we have a bunch of different categories in this challenge to keep people engaged throughout the 60 days and help, because September was our biggest month. It's supposed to be our biggest month of our businesses. It was definitely something that just kind of kept people incentivized. And as much as, some people work on the rewards, some people like to be incentivized, it definitely just brought us together, because people were asking, what are the points at, or who's ahead, and people were getting ideas from other teams' postings. And it definitely brought those 35 people way closer to work as a team. Another thing we did to build this team culture, because I think that is definitely how our team is continuing to grow right now. We have team culture days. So like yesterday, for instance, every single person on our team posted a picture that related to our team, or that they felt spoke to our team. And we made sure that everybody did the same hashtags, so they were all in together. So if you go and click under balance builders, because that's our thing that we are, if you go click on that hashtag, you can see all of our pictures from yesterday. And the number of comments that I got last night of people just saying, wow, it was so great to see how we're impacting people, or what our team makes people feel, or the quotes that they were choosing that related to our team and mission. It was really heartwarming last night. So And we're big on challenges, but anyway, it speaks to our team quite a bit. But our last challenge that we're doing right now is leading up to conference, and I can't say that it was my idea. It was definitely shared from Team Ninja, but our team, once again, they just thought it was a great idea, and we've been running with it. So September 1st, we decided to go 6 weeks to conference, and so anybody who's going to conference got to participate. And so we put point value for any trio or any order that they got. If they had an event and they had guests that attend that had no, like, we're not a rep, or we're not a customer. If they attended an event, they'd get points. If you qualify your business, if you hit POB, if you got a promotion. So there's about 8 categories that had points associated to it. And what we did is we have an even number of people coming onto conference. And so we literally, out of a jar, drew names for 2 teams. And all the points are raised for either team balance or team builders. And it's great because, you might not be on the same leg, and they're all mixed up teams, but it's really neat to see everybody working together to see who is going to get the most points before conference. And then we came up with prizes for conference, and they're all going to be conference related. So we have, secret team swag for the winning group coming for conference that they don't know about. So I guess they are now if they're going to hear this call. We have, I don't swear, but it's BIT, so bitches. So Starbucks bitches. So the winning team is going to get Starbucks coffee, coconut lattes on the morning of conferences, and it has to be purchased by the losing team. And at the Canadian dinner, the losing team has to serve the first round of drinks to the winning team. So these are all just things that gets people excited for conference, and gets you kind of pushing for each order, gets you pushing, to make sure you're touching your business every day. But it kind of makes it fun that, everybody is so excited for conference to see what the swag is and to see who's going to be serving these drinks at Canadian dinner, right? So all these things, these ideas that I've been coming up with, they're just to make sure that people know they're part of something bigger than themselves. They're part of a family. And I just feel like people are wanting to be part and contribute more and just kind of get that little extra hustle on in their business. So because it's hard having your business and with life, and making sure you're putting into your business every single day, because life takes over. So it's just something that kind of keeps you a little bit more accountable. So those are our tips that we've kind of been, our team has been doing lately. And like I said, I'd be happy to post these pictures of our boards that everybody does. I have a group coming tomorrow, and we're all going to be doing boards again tomorrow, because these goal charts are so beneficial. So
thank you so much, Lynsey. That was absolutely fantastic. So helpful. I'm going to open up to, does anybody have any questions? I know that lots of people have been messaging me lately about culture, community, ideas, how we can get things, really, really rocking and rolling and pulling people together, especially since our team, everybody's sort of very spaced out. So does anybody have any questions for Lynsey? Karen does.
Hey, Lynsey, you're freaking killing it. So thank you for being the example. I loved all that. I was taking notes madly, but there's so much information that you just kind of threw at us, which is awesome. I'm so impressed, and I love it. But I'm just trying to even wrap my head around the breakdown, because you're doing culture building events, you're doing conference building events, you're doing 60-day momentum, you're doing all this stuff, which is all amazing, but it's too much for my brain right now. Is there a way that you can put it, I'm really visual, in a, I don't know, a structure, so we can see what the categories are and what points you used for it, and we can borrow it from you and then rave about you on stage when we do our NMD speeches?
Yeah, we can. Absolutely. Yeah,
that would be amazing. Yeah,
definitely all of the challenges we have are always associated to orders, obviously, because when you get those trios, but always now qualifying your business, customer qualified, and POB. That is just club. So everything, all of our challenges are always focused around that.
So I did have a question as you were just speaking, and I lost it because you just said 7 more great things. Okay. So when someone gets a trio order, you do points. Do you do public praise for them? Do you follow the love languages? What do you do for all that?
For the trio, sorry, what was that?
So when people are getting the main things that you're focusing on is trio orders, PB, and POB, is that right? And you give points for those?
And customer qualified. I just basically choose points. Like for instance, I think our for our run for conference, I think it's like 25 points for an order, 50 points for if you bring a new person that's not on product or business to an event. I think it's 100 points for qualifying your business. I want to say another 100 points if you customer qualify, and then another 100 points if you get POB. So yes, some SCs, can hit POB where some of the VFs can't, but that's where the teams are all mixed up, and then it kind of balances itself out. But then I always say to the VFs, well, you can kill them in orders if you don't hit POB. So
you have run for conference.
Yep. We have the 60-day. We have the 60-day Mega Momentum right now.
Was anyone else hearing you cut out?
And then can you hear me?
Oh, you're just cutting out, Lyns.
Oh, sorry. So I have the Mega Momentum group for 60 days. If anybody's going to do that, I would highly suggest starting with 30 days. 60 days is a very, very long time to do it. It takes a lot. I pre-planned almost all 60 days before the event started because it's a lot of work. So we have the 60-day momentum group. We have the run to conference. I do kind of the culture stuff. A year and a half ago, I started flash challenges. I always do kind of 2 to 3 flash challenges per month. Like, I always use an example. We do like a shake day. So I'll let people know today. I'm like, okay, Monday is shake day. Let's see how many orders for the entire team we can do in shakes. And so, our maximum has been 30 shakes in one day. So we do a shake day, and that's like a flash challenge. Like I just throw it out there. I say, how many shakes can we get in one day? And then I just draw a prize for whoever got the most shakes in a day. And what other one do I have going on right now? I've got one more. Oh, and so in January and September are the 2 biggest months of the year for, any health and fitness. And so January was a really big month for us. And I don't know, we had something like 100 and however many orders. And so I just said to the team, and we haven't hit over that again. And so I said to the team, I'm like, September's our next biggest month. I was like, who wants in to see if we can, crush our September orders? And everybody was like, yeah, I'm in. So we did it again. And so we also have another one going on right now. It's for the whole month of September. It's an entire team, and it's just if we can get over 100 orders in 1 month. So
that is awesome. Karen, do you have any more questions? Does anybody else?
Just, my mind is like, that's a lot. It's awesome. Like, I'm so impressed. I'm just like madly taking notes. So thank you. I'm sure I'll have more questions, and I will probably pick your brain later because you're amazing, and you'll actually message me back, which I love about you.
I try.
I love it. Does anybody else have any questions? Take advantage while we have her on. No takers? Okay, well, we will leave it at that. It's actually 9:30 right on the dot. See, I told you, you're so organized. You're perfect.
That was a lot. That was a lot of information.
No, it was so good. I know you guys have so much going on, so that's why I just thought sharing it with everybody. It's so inspiring. Some things are going to click with some, and some things might not be for them, but it gives our team so many great ideas. So thank you so much, Lyns, for taking the time to be on tonight. I know it's like a squirrely time of the night for you, so I'm sure hopefully your hubby's home and helping with the girls, but I appreciate you taking your time, and I cannot wait to see you and your amazing team at conference in a couple of weeks. So thanks again. If everybody wants to unmute yourselves and just thank Lyns, that'd be awesome, and say goodnight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lynn.
Love you, Lyns. Bye.